As Meghan Markle's financial woes become alarmingly clear, it emerges that it wasn't only Queen Elizabeth who cottoned on to the American actress's elaborate plan to snare Prince Harry. Right from the outset, William, we're told, saw right through Meghan and swiftly concluded that she had not the slightest intention of staying in the royal family for long. And when worried Wills made his feelings clear to besotted Harry, the bitter brothers-at-war feud began. Fuelled by a growing cold fury, the acrimonious split continues to this day. And according to those close to the Prince of Wales, the chances of the seething siblings ever talking to each other again are decidedly remote. Royal author Phil Dampier said, "Meghan saw marrying Harry as a stepping stone to new fame and fortune, and I think that's what initially Prince William was concerned about, and that's why they fell out." These latest revelations mirror the fears of the late Queen, who, we now know, doubted that Meghan was in love with her naive grandson and believed that the artful divorcee engineered the entire romance. The difficult Duchess, of course, denies any such scheming. I mean, perish the thought. But these shocking stories from the past are, we understand, not going down at all well behind the gilded gates of the Sussex's palace in the Californian sun. Right now, however, it seems that the misgivings of Her late Majesty and William are the least of Meghan's problems. No, the big cloud casting a dark shadow over the carefully curated image of Ms. Markle's oh-so-perfect life is money, or to be precise, the lack thereof. Having only recently hired a royal-style court of highly paid executives, Harry and Meghan are reported to be ditching staff fast. The gruesome twosome's communications team have been let go amid talk that the tally of minions who have left since they arrived in America now stands at a bumper 25. The New York Post's page 6 column says that just last month the runaway royals parted company with 6 more employees and that several subsequent departures have yet to hit the headlines, all of which suggests that Meghan's scam jam shop, as ever, is not pulling in the cash, despite her ladyship's frantic efforts to project a portrait of stunning, profitable success. Obviously, after inheriting from Diana, the Queen, and his great-grandma, the Queen Mother, Harry's not a pauper. And perhaps the ruthlessly ambitious Ms. Markle's thrillingly expensive range of apricot spread, dried flowers and now Chateau Meg rosé wine are at least delivering a line of credit. But do the Duke and Duchess have enough? Are the dismal duo just a couple of low-level millionaires trying to live like high-flying billionaires? And is the rotting roof of their fragile financial predicament about to cave in? Certainly commentators and royal observers are sensing panic in the rarefied Montecito air. Soon after his ill-advised interview with the BBC outrageously suggesting that his father wanted him dead, sulky old ginger nuts hinted that he'll be announcing a new commercial venture real soon. No clue as to what the petulant prince's magic money-making enterprise might be, but it had better be good. It had better get the dollars rolling in, or who knows what's in store for a pair of wealth posers living way above their means. One thing's for sure, Harry can no longer rely on the bank of dad. The exasperated king has for some time refused to talk to his troublesome son and doesn't trust him not to leak private and personal details of their conversations. What a mess. What a crying shame. And so, overshadowed by a wife more interested in fame and fortune than him, Harry stumbles on, lost in a directionless abyss. A middle-aged man with his whole life behind him, trapped in the goldfish bowl of pointless celebrity, while royal watchers marvel at the subordinate role he seems happy to play in his strange, one-sided marriage. Over to writer Esther Krakow. He's totally whipped, and the king is fully aware of it. Wow. I fear it's not just the king. I think we're all fully aware of who rules the roost in that relationship. It's the all-powerful Mrs. Sussex, still scheming after all these years. She is, isn't she, Samara? She never stops scheming.
She is, but the thing is, she sold Harry such a lie when she married him. She pretended to be this human rights activist. She pretended to be this hugely successful actress, but that's not true. She didn't really crack Hollywood. At the end of the day, the reality is she was a suitcase girl who got a D-list kind of job on Suits, which wasn't even a very successful cable show. And the fact is, Hollywood is competitive. If she couldn't crack that, she definitely can't crack any other market. So I agree that she's scheming, but I actually don't think that there's much of a plan behind this or much depth in that woman's brain to actually sort out this billion-dollar empire that she keeps touting to everyone. It's not going to happen, Kev.
It's a good point, isn't it, Ash? That she does scheme, but she doesn't scheme very well. I mean, look at where she's got. I mean, this is an elaborate plan she's had for many years. She married a prince and she thought he was a billionaire. Guess what? He's not. She's still plotting. She's still scheming. But look where she is.
Yeah, she's a C-list schemer, isn't she? I mean, the Queen picked up on it. I think I picked up on it. You know, maybe I'm quite similar to the Queen in the hair. In the morning, my hair does look a bit like the Queen.
Yeah.
Didn't you pick up on it?
You are. Every time I see you, I think...
It's Flash Ash.
The late, great Her Majesty the Queen.
Yes,
I know.
Ash. And we have a similar wisdom. But didn't you pick up on it from the very start? She was a typical schmaltzy Beverly Hills actress, C-list type, and she was after a sham marriage.
Beverly Hills in her dreams. She wasn't quite Beverly Hills, I'll tell you that.
No, but you're right. It was the outright lies.
Did she audition for Beverly Hills 90210?
Yes, she did.
No, the Beverly Hillbillies, that one.
No.
No,
Look, stop showing your age. The Beverly Hillbillies.
The thing is, you're so right, though. It was very obvious because you don't come into something like the royal family and start with a bunch of lies saying, I don't even know who you guys are. I didn't even Google Harry on the way to the date. Come on, Meghan, give me a break. Of course she did.
She was after William first, apparently, before he got married.
Well, let's not act like that whole trip to England wasn't to actually find a British husband. She was just very lucky to have literally lucked out and be set up through a mutual friend.
Well, she had a date with Piers Morgan, didn't she?
She did.
Well, lucky you, Piers. You dodged a bad bullet there, I'll tell you.
And footballer Andy Cole, I heard, but he turned her down. She got rejected quite a few
Footballer Andy Cole?
Yeah. That's right.
That is true.
It's true. Yeah.
Meghan Cole.
Lizzie Cundy, yeah.
She genuinely did want to do the kind of Victoria Beckham pipeline.
He had more than Harry, didn't he?
Yeah. Because Americans don't really have much of an idea of our class system, do they?
No.
So I'm afraid, Meghan, that Andy Cole would not quite have been up to your high standards in terms of the social ladder. But I mean, look where she is now. All this plotting, all this scheming. You know, what is it now? 7 years on from when she met Harry or something.
It's like she just keeps digging.
And what is she doing? She's trying to flog apricot spread. I mean, she hasn't really got very far.
And dead flowers.
Yeah, I mean, the scale that she's doing it at does not match her lifestyle. And that's what we've seen this week. She's had to let go of multiple different staff members. And you predicted it, Kev, very early on, that this is going to be the issue that they run into. They're not living a billionaire lifestyle, but they pretend to want to be kind of trying to keep up with all their friends. Because if you look at all their main friends, they are kind of like these billionaire types.
Is that her next step
Oprah,
then to find a
Whitney, the person who founded Bumble, they're all their friends. That's who they spend New Year's with. It's very hard to keep up when you don't have the cash. I mean, there's a big difference between a dating tech company and pots of jam.
Absolutely, and interesting that so we found out a couple of weeks ago that the Queen had these huge reservations about Meghan. In fact, saw right through her.
Yeah.
What was it? The quote from Lady Ansell, her friend, her cousin, in fact, was, "We hope, but don't think they're in love. We think she engineered it all." That was the Queen's thoughts. And now we learn that William had exactly the same thoughts. And obviously, William confronted, besotted Harry. And ever since then, and from that moment, in that moment, their very close relationship, they were brothers in arms. From that moment, they became brothers at war.
he was smitten with her, and then he couldn't see reason, and literally everyone else around.
To this day.
To this day, is like, it's so much. She knows what she's doing, and it's worked. She's played a blinder. But everyone around her, Kate, William, the Queen, even the British public, we could all see it. Everyone.
It's interesting, isn't it? Yeah, you're right. Everybody could see it, apart from poor dim Harry.
Yeah.
You've got some YouTube comments, I believe.
Yes,
Samara.
I do. Chris Attle says, before and after marriage, Meghan has always been the one to wear the pants in the family. Harry being weak, Meghan's control and nonsense has had free reign, especially since they moved to California. So sad for Harry's royal family relations. They miss the old Harry.
Yeah, well, we all do. We all do. I mean, we've discussed this before. She's ruined him, hasn't she, Ash?
Well,
yes, the answer's yes.
I mean, yeah, but
no, the answer's yes.
No, she's definitely ruined him. I thought he was all right. I always preferred William. I mean, he was the Villa fan as well, which is a football team in the UK. But I thought
that's what I've always hated about William being an Aston Villa fan. Aston Villa's a football club here, a soccer club that William supports. So does Ash. But I don't.
He was a bit, I never believed in the army he was in any danger. But then she did double his. She totally destroyed him.
I mean, look at that BBC interview. I mean, he's addled with pain and sort of a victimhood complex, and she feeds. That's why they stay together, because she feeds on it.
It's such a shame because I agree with you, Ash. He wasn't perfect, but he was a bit of fun, and he was always on the lash, hanging out with the girls in the clubs. He was good fun, and she's turned him into a 24/7 misery guts at war with the world. Have you got any more YouTubes?
But also just the broke thing. I don't even think he's to blame, because he's actually not built to make money. Like, he was never built that way.
What is he built to do? What is he built to
shake hands and like...
Blue collar.
It's cut library ribbons and open things.
He's asking himself the same question.
Unveil plaques.
Apparently he can't even fly a helicopter. He sits in the passenger seat, making the sandwiches.
He's not a pilot. He is a helicopter pilot.
Sabrina says, Markle's drink is the dregs of the vineyard. It is the crappiest of leftovers. Anyone who would pay for that needs to use it as cooking wine and needs their heads examined.
You can't cook with rosé, or can you? Who was that from?
That's from Sabrina.
Well, Sabrina, I was sort of hoping that you'd tried it already, but it sounded as if maybe you haven't tried it. I suppose it's slightly unfair to write it off before we've tried it, and I haven't. But I will write it off because of the price. With shipping, it's a minimum of 3 bottles, $110. Do me a favour. That's a lot of money.
They're almost telling us that they're broke because they're trying to basically mark up all these stupid little products you can buy in the supermarket.
I mean, if As Ever is making any money at all, I'm a Chinaman. I just don't believe it. I don't believe it. One more?
Kathy said, I don't know how a jam can make you happy. Sounds like a marketing ploy to me.
Meghan, so good.
The wine can make you happy.
Yeah.
If you drink all 3 bottles, you get a tingle.
So is that Jan? Is that...
Kathy said that.
Kathy.
Meghan lying again to sell items she probably had nothing to do with at all. Let's face it, Meghan Markle doesn't seem talented in anything.
Is it? Very true, Kathy, very true. And we talked about this last week, didn't we? She goes, there's a jam, people say, I can make a jam, and this jam makes us so happy. What are you talking about? Jam doesn't make people happy. I mean, you might go, oh, that's nice jam. That's it. It doesn't, even the greatest jam in the world, it's not a mood changer. It really isn't.
It's not legal jam as well, is it? Apparently
it's scam jam.
Fruit spread, because there's not enough fruit or something.
Scam jam.
Scam jam.
It's because it doesn't have enough fruit in it. It's the same for the apricot spread. So it's called fruit spread, and the apricot is apricot spread as opposed to apricot jam. So there's a sort of you need a certain amount of fruit to qualify as jam. So it's scam jam.
Scam jam, man.
Yeah, but also, I mean, come on. I think that she's trying to say that to appeal to her middle America audience, like a little dash of joy in your day. It's not going to work. I mean, she was telling us that because we bought that jam, she was telling us you can reuse the packaging for your paintbrushes. What? Who randomly has paintbrushes.
You can use the jam as paint.
Yeah.
Probably better paint.
No. You can use the jam as the scam jam as paint stripper.
Having tasted it, I can agree.
I mean, jam doesn't make you happy, but Meghan's scam jam, it makes you disappointed because it's so thin and gruely. It's like I said before, we tried it. It's all right, but she's not.
Is it watery or is it thin?
Yeah, it's very thin. So it's a bit like the water. It sloshes around in the jar.
It is
whereas jam should be hard.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
But what about Harry? I finished my monologue towards the end saying that he seems so lost. I mean, he is.
Well, that's why I was ringing people's doorbells going, can you tell me where I am?
I like the idea that he was practicing to be a Deliveroo driver.
Yeah, he does look sadder and sadder, doesn't he? Yeah.
I do think he feels lost, but it does go back to the money thing because he's not the one making the money in the relationship.
Nor she.
So,
therein lies the problem.
He's been defenestrated in a way. I mean, within his own relationship. I don't blame Meghan for obviously wanting to be the face of everything because she is that cheap and tacky that she'd be happy to push any partner to the side in order to get the limelight. But he's actually not contributing to the relationship.
I wonder what his commercial venture will be. I mean, he's a man of many ideas. I predict he might start a walrus farm.
Well,
that might work. Or maybe a do-it-yourself drive-in sheep dip or something like that. What do you think?
I would be shocked. He went to China the other month for no reason, for Trip.com or some random brand.
Well, how about Spare the movie?
Yeah, Spare.
You hated the book, now despise the film.
Spare.
Actually, they could make Spare the movie. Would be all right, wouldn't
Eddie
it?
Redmayne could play
I'd like
him.
the bit where he, where his Todger, where he...
It froze, didn't it? Yeah, his Todger froze.
He put, like, stuff on his...
Yeah, he put Elizabeth Arden cream on his...
Yeah, and then weirdly said, while he was doing it, he thought of his mother. What the hell was that?
It explains a lot. It explains a lot to do with Meghan, why they're
Elizabeth
together.
Arden on his privates thinking of his mother. Harry, you are an A-grade, industrial standard weirdo.
And then his brother smashed the dog bowl over his head. They'll have to reenact that. I mean, who would be the actor playing him? Would it be a Brad Pitt type?
But no, William could play himself. He'd like that, wouldn't he?
That's true.
Starring as himself, Prince William.
But where to from there once you've sold all that stuff to the public? Like, where does he go? Because he revealed so much in that book to get a couple of cheap
we're running ahead of ourselves because we don't know what his commercial venture is. But knowing him, it will probably defy belief. It will be unbelievably useless. I mean, he doesn't have any discernment. If you think Meghan's talentless, you should meet Harry. Time for a bad ad.
今年もたわわに実ったよ。
今年も美味しくできました。ガツンとアップルパイ。
All the ads are from Japan today. That's for a apple lolly. You might have worked that out. And as always, a very, very disturbing commercial.
I need therapy after that.
I mean, Japan, a great country and all that, but seems kind of strange.
It is a bit strange. There's vending machines with very dodgy things for sale. Apparently, fruit like an apple is like, because it's so mountainous, it's like 80 quid for an apple out.
That's why you stick with the Japanese apple lolly. Like that, lovely. Let's go to a real break. What just happened?
He's mad as hell. It's Kevin O'Sullivan.
Oh, welcome back to part 2 of What Just Happened, the world's greatest TV show. And this is time for what we call the big moment, the biggest story of the past week. And this is how we introduce it.
3, 2, 1. Yay! It worked.
And for us, there's no contest this week. It's the Epstein files.
How can people be expected to have faith in Trump if he won't release the Epstein files? That post by Elon Musk this afternoon gets at a serious question, prompted by MAGA fans, among others, after the Justice Department asserted in a memo that convicted sex offender and multimillionaire Jeffrey Epstein did not blackmail high-profile clients, was not murdered before he was found dead in his jail cell in 2019, and in fact had no client list.
This was what the whole story was based on, Ash. It was this, as Jake Tapper is suggesting there, that the narrative was that Epstein kept a file, filmed men doing naughty things with young girls and all that, and blackmailed them. Now, I suspect what's happened here is there is a list. There's a passenger list. There's a passenger manifolds on that plane going down to the island. But that doesn't prove criminal activity. No. Far be it from me to kill a good story. But what I think the situation is, there's a list of big names who went to the island. And after that, unless you can prove that they had nefarious underage sex or something, well, so what if there's a list?
Well, Professor Stephen Hawkins was on the list, wasn't he?
Exactly.
President Macron was on the list, but he went to the island next door with the older ladies rather than the young ones.
Was that right? Did they ever
they had the old lady island.
The old lady island and the young lady island.
Macron was the only one there.
He only had one island.
But
Epstein only had one island.
Nothing wrong with an old lady.
Didn't have an island with older ladies on it.
Money, didn't
Where'd you get that from?
No, but it's all out there.
It's not all out.
But there was
only one island.
There was there's only one. There's no list.
It takes the time, but you get.
I agree. No, there was
comes
no
round
island.
in the end. Yeah.
But now they say, oh no, there wasn't a list. What are you talking about? As if they'd never been saying it. The FBI said they had the list, and now suddenly there's no list.
No, it's not that. I think there is a list, but so what? What does a list prove, Samara?
I mean, what does a list prove? I think this is basically internet speak. This is something that has only been sort of galvanised by the internet saying, release the names, release the list. It's not that simple, actually. The whole thing's kind of complex. And it's interesting to see him kind of almost vindicated this week. It's a bit strange, to be honest, especially on the crest of Diddy as well, this whole thing. I think we're reaching this point in culture where there's kinky and crazy people, and then there's like actual illegalities.
Here's the thing,
and that's where the line gets.
Sure. But here's the thing about Epstein: he inveigled people into his.
He is a terrible person,
and he became a man of influence.
Was he CIA? Some people speculating he had
but the point is, I don't think he was as crude as to blackmail these guys. No. It's just that they were in his thrall after he provided them with these nefarious services. Totally. So it's not that a list of names doesn't exist. It's just that a list of names doesn't prove anything. But the point is, this will fuel the conspiracy theories forevermore. The National Enquirer will dine out on this literally for decades to come, won't they?
I mean, there was Dershowitz on it, wasn't there? Clinton, Bill Gates, even Professor Stephen Hawking. So that sort of takes the guilt out of it, doesn't it? But they might have just been...
Alan Dershowitz, by the way, he sued
and he won,
and was completely exonerated. Bill Clinton has just denied it, and so has Prince Andrew.
He had luxury island.
But they all went there.
People want an explanation, though, as to how Jeffrey Epstein was just basically a high school teacher at a very posh school in New York, and then somehow found himself extremely wealthy and rich within the space of about 15 years.
He had hedge funds, but
he
people
went to
who
work
spoke
for a hedge fund.
People who spoke to him said he didn't know what he was on about. It was like it was fixed that he'd be this hedge fund.
He's a really interesting, mysterious character, you're right.
Cameras in every room in that
The source of his fabulous wealth is still mysterious. People don't quite know how he did it. I mean, he was in the lower echelons of hedge funding, but he was nowhere near a billionaire type. And then suddenly, not only was he a billionaire, he was a billionaire beyond belief. He's super, super rich. And he used that money to inveigle the rich and powerful into his circle, and he became a great man of influence.
I think he schmoozed them, he brought them to his island, and I don't think they all went with young girls, but if they wanted that, he provided everything at this island. So if you were a bit of a pervert, you went to do that.
He was a paedophile.
He was, but I don't think everyone he brought to the island
was. No, of course not.
It was just a luxury island, and you had that as well as an addition.
He was a very nefarious individual, and he preyed on working class young girls actually around the Palm Beach area. So it was a whole syndicate, and this is kind of what happens with the corrupting nature of all his wealth. I do think it's an element of it, but in terms of Trump being involved, I mean, he was living in Palm Beach.
There's lots of pictures of them together.
Because they were in the Palm Beach circles together. But from what I know, and actually when you look at the Prince Andrew relationship, It was all about money, and he was obviously loaning Prince Andrew money when he had financial issues. Well, he paid off Fergie's debts.
£15,000.
Yeah, exactly. So that's
a credit card debt.
Yeah. It's not even a joke.
£15,000. That's like $20,000.
Yeah.
It's pathetic.
Ghislaine Maxwell will get out of prison soon because she's...
That's about the size of my credit card bill. Hey, Jeff, you still alive by any chance? I could use a loan. But his death, though, is still...
Well, that was murder, man, because the top
Allegedly.
pathologist said it went round his neck. Someone that's hanged, the divots go up your ears, and this is what that pathologist said. Okay. The cameras didn't work for the hour. He was a very powerful people. He was obviously murdered, and that's why Ghislaine Maxwell...
That's the end of that debate. There you go, folks. Ash has solved the case. He's definitely murdered.
Just one more thing.
But the point is, it could be murder, it could not. What's interesting about his death, I mean, obviously a lot of the idea is he committed suicide because he was going to spend the rest of his life in jail. But a lot of people say he was bumped off, he was killed in jail because of what he knew about so many powerful men. Now, they've looked at footage outside his cell on the night he died.
Yeah, that's been released.
And there's nothing happens. It's nothing. Yeah. It's just like, a fly buzzing past. That's about it. So that doesn't necessarily mean he wasn't killed, but this will be a debating point, like who killed Kennedy, what happened.
Well, Ghislaine Maxwell's Cape Stum, haven't they? They've probably told her,
Ghislaine.
We'll put her out in 5...
Ghislaine.
Yeah. Elaine, we'll put her out in 5 years. We'll let you go in 5 years if you keep your nose clean, don't mention it, because she obviously knows the client.
Ghislaine got the bad end of this.
But she knows she'll be killed if she says anything, so she just keeps... Well, she knows that. I mean, we've
get a job on the Inquirer.
We've solved that one, haven't we?
Yeah, you have, yeah. But she's doing 20 years. And what I find uncomfortable about this is we know Jeffrey Epstein was not a good man. Bad things were going on. He was a paedophile. His house in New York, his mansion in New York, was full of really sordid pictures of photos of very young girls in high heels and all that kind of thing. Yeah. He was a sordid individual. But what we know about him is that he brought into his circle all of these people, and that maybe, just maybe, they might have wanted to bump him off. So again, it's good to think about that. But what I find uncomfortable is, this is a story of men, rich and powerful men. Yeah. Now, we have to say, all of them have never been found guilty of any nefarious activity or any offences, but we're talking about Donald Trump, we're talking about Prince Andrew, we're talking about Bill Clinton, and so many more very powerful people, men, and the only person who has been punished for all of this definite nefarious activity is a woman, Ghislaine Maxwell. That's uncomfortable, isn't it? Our resident woman.
Yes, a resident woman. What do you think of that?
Well, Ghislaine's very interesting because obviously it's that classic rich and powerful, wealthy American, but connected, penniless Brit relationship, and that's kind of what Ghislaine Maxwell was to him. And I think they did have some sort of actual intimate relationship.
Oh yeah, they were boy and girlfriend for a while.
And I think Ghislaine, if you look into her background, has had a very abusive childhood.
I knew her.
I know you did because you would have worked.
I used to work for her fat old monster of a dad. He was an awful man as well.
He also got murdered by the Mossad, didn't he?
No, he didn't.
We haven't solved that one yet.
He killed himself. He jumped off the back of his boat, of his yacht, because his financial empire fell to bits, was imploding.
Correct.
It was called the Lady Ghislaine. I've done it now. Lady Ghislaine. I've been on that boat as well. That was pretty impressive. Anyway, time is running out on this topic. Which brings us nicely to the next topic. It's all about a clock. You see what I did there? That's why I get the small bucks. Donald Trump was in the Department of State, Marco Rubio's department, and he spotted a clock. And he really liked it, and he wanted to get it himself. Here he is explaining the story.
So as president, you have the power. If I go into the State Department or Department of Commerce or Treasury, if I see anything that I like, I'm allowed to take it. Do you believe this? So I'm in Marco's. I see this gorgeous clock, grandfather clock. Look at it. It's beautiful. He said, what clock? I said, the clock that's in the other room is incredible, and nobody gets to see it there. I said, I'd love to take that clock out and put it in the cabinet room. He said, no, are you serious? I said, Marco, I have the right to do it, Marco. And he said, all right, what the hell?
He's a funny guy, isn't he?
But that clock had his hair, didn't it? It had his sort of, it had a bit on the top. And his hair's flattened out a bit.
His hair's different these days.
They've thickened it out.
Great.
Yeah.
I mean,
by the way, not so long ago in Colorado, the Colorado State Building, all the state buildings have to put a portrait of the president up. So they had one painted of him. And I must admit, it's not flattering. It's a big fat face and everything. Yeah. So Trump said that is deliberately distorted, and so they've painted another one. They got a new one up, and he really loves this because he's got this big bouffant hairdo. Nice. So it doesn't look like he's got this elaborate comb over.
Thick hair.
But the clock, he's right. He can go into any department and say, "I want that."
It's good to be the king.
What did you? I didn't like that clock. I don't think Donald Trump has particularly good taste. He likes gold and things.
Well, we
like
know
that.
he hasn't got good taste. Yeah. I mean, wooden furniture's out, man.
Yeah, wooden furniture's out. Yeah. Now that's the big moment, or the two big moments, the Epstein files and the Trump clock. That was the big one. Let's move on to our new element of the show, the Kev's small moment. I don't know if this is a small moment. It's certainly a super moment. It's Superman. Woke Superman. This is the director of the new Superman film, James Gunn, talking about the star of his movie.
Superman is an immigrant, and yes, the people that we support in this country are immigrants, and if you don't like that, then you're not American.
Well, I'm not American and I don't like it, so there you go, hooray! And James Gunn, you tosspot. Yeah. Loads of Americans, millions of Americans don't like it. That's why Donald Trump is the president. These Hollywood types, these liberal Hollywood types, they live in a world that is not reflective of real America, don't they?
It's like, just shut up. I mean, honestly, just seriously, just
What's
shut up.
going on with his hair, by the way?
Yeah, but it's as you said, it's always the people that are saying this. I mean, if I wanted to put my woke hat on, that's a privileged white man in Hollywood saying that. Yeah. So they're always the mouthpieces for these weird movements that have nothing to do with what's actually going on outside the gates of their mansions in Hollywood.
Plus,
it makes no sense.
How many illegal refugees have superpowers? It's like in the UK they say, it's all doctors and engineers.
Few, actually.
It's about 0.5%, but no one's got any superpowers.
Now James Gunn, you should know this, that Donald Trump's mass deportations are going down a storm in America. Americans don't like migrants. They don't like illegal migrants. You might think they do in your little Hollywood gilded cage, but around the country, untrue. And by the way, you probably knocked a couple of $100 million off your box office receipts with that dose of virtue signaling. What a dork. Let's move on to a bad ad.
腸内トカチ飲むヤクルト回転売れてるトカチ飲むヤクルト皇帝
Oh my God, that's for milk, a Japanese milk. Maybe this is an urban myth, but I always thought the thing about the Japanese, I think the Chinese as well, they're very low lactose element of their. They don't drink much milk or cheese. Or
they say we smell of cheese. Don't
we smell of milk. Yeah.
How dare they? But now they're into it, are they?
Well, they're into it clearly.
And not good for them.
That's the sort of ad that will certainly get me to buy milk. Let's go to a real break. What just happened?
He's mad as hell. It's Kevin O'Sullivan.
Welcome back. It's part 3 of What Just Happened. You know what that means? It's viewers' questions. What have we got, Samara?
Elon Musk is launching a new political party. What should it be called?
The America Party. That's what
Tesla.
Meme party, Doge party.
The ketamine party. How about that? The ketamine party.
XR2.
Honestly, he's so blown it. I mean, you know...
Literally.
I mean, what does he think he's doing? This is because he's furious about Donald Trump's big, beautiful bill, which, by the way, you know, I'm a big fan of Trump, but I don't like the big, beautiful bill.
I like it.
It's a license. Why? It's very left-wing. You know that, don't you?
It's
You like it because you're woke.
But
Are you woke, Samara?
I'm the last person that would be woke.
So why do you like the big, beautiful bill, then?
Because it's not
lefty?
Because he's not a business. He's a government. He needs to spend money. He needs to make America prosperous again.
No. It is a business side, basically.
No. Government should spend as little
if
as
you're
possible.
on Elon's side, go die on that hill,
I'm not on Elon's side. Well, I get Elon's point. I don't like government spending.
Elon's just happy.
The big, beautiful bill will cost Americans a lot of money. They've got to pay for it.
It will make a lot of money for the economy too.
In theory. However, they've still got to pay for it. Now, that will threaten, I think, Donald Trump's promise not to raise taxes. Don't you think, Ash?
I mean, is it? Yeah, of course. I mean, I think the less government, the better, obviously, for military reasons and other reasons, but there should be less and less. So, I mean, what is this big, beautiful bill?
Exactly. Big, beautiful bill. The word clue is in the big. Now, you know, I do think Donald Trump's very politically sound. I'm with him on most issues. But if you want, you know, billions and billions and billions of pounds, big, beautiful bill to spend all this money, that's big government. And the only good government is a small government. You remember Ronald Reagan, brilliant phrase, one of my favourite phrases of all times. He said, the most frightening sentence in the English language is, "Hi, I'm from the government. I'm here to help."
Yeah, that's true.
Exactly, yeah, because we've seen what's happened in the UK. You just build layers and layers of stuff. We've actually got more civil servants than France now, which is ridiculous. And that's what seems to be happening in America. So what's going on there? Maybe you're right, Samara. It's just I understand Elon Musk's reservations about the big, beautiful bill. That said, Elon Musk utterly lost the plot. What have you done to yourself, mate? Why do you look, you're running 3 massive businesses in the United States of America. Just a tip, don't fall out with the man who runs the United States of America, i.e. President Donald Trump. Falling out with the president when you're trying to run 3 massive corporations, that is the act of a madman who's lost the plot. So that's what I feel. Well, that's Elon Musk, though, isn't it?
Yeah, that is Elon Musk. A madman who's lost the plot. And he's lost all of his status. Sad to see, in a way. Next question.
British doctors are going on strike for 5 days despite getting a 22% pay rise last year. Do you support them?
I'll tell you why I don't support them, these doctors going on strike. I didn't support them during their last strike. I think doctors should be legally banned from going on strike because when they go on strike, they go, oh, patient safety, it's absolutely guaranteed. No, it's not. When doctors go on strike, patients die. People die. So these doctors, you know, the Hippocratic Oath, well, it seems to me they break that. You know, you must treat people whenever you can. They're walking out of hospitals, leaving patients to suffer and die, whatever they say. So do I support their strike? Absolutely not. So in this country, I don't know what the score is in the States or Australia or around the world, but we have certain sections, workers who are not allowed to strike. One, of course, is the police. The other is the army. Incredibly, firefighters in this country are allowed to strike. That strikes me as absolutely insane. But doctors, I don't think should be allowed to strike, nor should nurses, nor should emergency 911, 999 phone operators. 911 in America, 999 here, and nor should ambulance drivers. And I'm not being fascistic about workers' rights. I'm all for the right to strike. That's an important part of a democratic, free society. But if your industrial action is killing people, then that industrial action should be banned.
Yeah, well, they gave him a 22% increase last year, and then they didn't even ask him for any change in conditions, the government. They gave him a 22% increase, and then a couple of days later they said, this isn't it, though. We want another pay rise next year. And the other interesting thing is doctors, I've spoken to doctors who are, like, retired now, and doctors would never have gone on strike because of their morals 20, 30 years ago. Yeah. This is now a new thing.
So they used to call these doctors, they used to call them junior doctors, which was a misnomer. because many of them are like 55 years old. So they're not junior. So they've recently changed their name to something equally meaningless.
Rebranded.
Resident doctors. Resident where? But what they should do with these doctors is call them what they really are. Striking doctors. And they shouldn't be allowed to strike. Got another one?
A government scheme has given new cars to 20 people suffering from constipation. Why should constipated people get special treatment? Kev, you were very annoyed about this.
Well, they've got to, drive fast to get to the loo.
No, that's diarrhea. I understand that constipation, you can get the bus.
This is our mad... In this country, in Britain, folks, around the world, we have a welfare system that is off the scale, insane, absolutely barking mad. Our welfare bill in this country is £300 billion a year. I don't know what that, $400 billion, something like that. Absolutely ludicrous. And we've got this system called PIP, personal...
independent
payments. This is for people who've got jobs, but the government decides, you're not really earning enough, so we'll give you some money, or maybe you don't work at all. But anyway, these people, there's a thing called the Motability Scheme, and they get free cars. So if you're disabled, you can't get around. Now, I get that. OK, fine. Give them a free car. Give them a car. But we gave, last year, we gave 32,000. By the way, last year we gave this Motability Scheme. Last year, we gave away 589,000 cars. 1 in every 5 new cars in Britain is bought by the Motability Scheme to give to people on welfare. It's absolutely...
And these are BMWs and Audis. These aren't small cars.
So last year, 32,000...
Can you imagine the Americans reacting
more
to
than
this?
32,000 of these brand new cars that we give away to people on welfare went to people who are depressed or suffering from anxiety. Why do you need a car if you're depressed or you've got anxiety? And 20, as Samara just said, went to people who are constipated. 40 went to people with tennis elbow. 40 went to people with tennis elbow, and so on and so forth. So basically, if you get in touch with the government over here and you say, I'm a bit depressed, I'm a bit tired, they'll give you a new car.
And by the way, you get free tyres whenever you need them, free servicing. You don't have to pay for any of that as well. I
wouldn't give any of them any cars. We've got to shut this down. The American way. You lose your job, you get 6 weeks or 6 months of unemployment benefit, but... we are addicted to welfare, and people have lost the will to work. In America, if you don't work, you don't eat. We should have that system here. We better go to some real ads. What just happened?
He's mad as hell. It's Kevin O'Sullivan.
Welcome back to part 4 of What Just Happened. And this, of course, is the complaints department where we go through some of the messages that you've been kind enough to send us. We get thousands every week, so we really do appreciate it. And we read as many out as we can. Let's get the ball rolling. Ladies first. Ash.
Oh, right. Thank you. Yes, of course. I love what this is from... Stacey. I love watching your show and I am not offended by anything except abuse. That being said, I'm really offended at the Bowie reference comparing Meghan to Bowie. Meghan has 0 talent. David Bowie has exceptional vocals. He played 12 instruments. He was a songwriter, producer, actor. He was master of reinvention and succeeding. He was hilarious, and also, this is where he shined the brightest. He was a genuine, kind human and humanitarian. Meghan is none of these. Super disappointing, guys. Yeah, but I went to...
what was that lady's name?
Stacey. But I mean,
Stacey's right. Yeah. It was a really weird analogy that you.
No, but I mean, Bowie. People think he did all great stuff. I went to a gig in Wembley and everyone left, and he did some rubbish stuff. He's throwing enough crap and it sticks.
You're really going to go for Bowie?
No, I mean, I'm just saying she tries to. Maybe one day she'll hit the.
What the hell has David Bowie got to do with Meghan?
Because she reinvents herself, but not very well.
It was the worst analogy anyone's ever made.
I'm sorry,
it was
man.
useless.
I'm
with Stacey. Stacey, on behalf of Ash, we humbly apologise. Samara.
Mako said, this show doesn't have subtitles in Japan, but Kevin is funny and the other commentators are all great, so I watch it every week. I'm a big fan of Samara. I know, Mako, we message sometimes. Thank you.
Is that from Japan?
Yeah, Japan.
Well, I did my Japanese ad impression, didn't I?
So when you go to
that's probably racist.
Yeah.
So when you went to the funny adverts, he was looking at it going, this isn't funny, this is just a normal advert.
Yeah.
Well, Mako. Mako sounds great. Thank you, Mako. I hope you're enjoying
She's very loyal.
I hope you're enjoying the Japanese ads. I'm not sure we are. They're really freak-outy. Go on.
This is from Paul. He says, I love Ash's sense of humour. I can imagine having a pint with him and just laughing all day. So there he is imagining that we're having a pint laughing all day, yeah?
Well,
I'm trying to be hard-hitting serious journalist
but I
here.
wonder if they mean laughing at you or laughing...
Yeah, which are probably just because they're drunk.
You don't care, do you?
No,
As long
doesn't
as they're
matter. It all
laughing.
counts.
Keep them laughing.
All
Keep
goes
them
down the
laughing.
same hole.
Laugh them into bed. That's your philosophy,
well,
isn't
we'll
it?
see about that.
That's how to seduce a woman, folks. Laugh them into bed. I don't know what that means. Go on, Samara.
Doesn't work. Betsy has said...
You've got to have something else.
Well, all right, I'll come up with a new technique.
No, I'm joking.
Cry them into bed. Cry them into bed.
Effective strategy. Betsy Napoleon says, grits is bad. There is no excuse for it. I hope our new Secretary of Health will ban it soon. I'm guessing that she's American and
Yeah. So I put out the question. We've had lots and lots of messages about grits. I said, what are they? What are they for?
Sounded horrible.
It's this thing. You get it all over the States, but particularly when you go to the deep south. You order breakfast and it'll turn up with this great grey sludge thing called grits. And you think, right, it looks terrible. It's got a really bad name, grits. So it must be delicious, but it's not. It really comes through with all its lack of promise. It's really disgusting.
But what is it?
I think it's something to do a grain, smashing corn or something. Actually, maybe somebody could send us a message and tell us what grits is or are.
Well, you hope that's what it is.
Actually, I'll look it up. We'll talk about it next week. What you got, Ash?
This is from Maria Rodriguez. Such hypocrisy. I'm not an American. However, you should all leave Meghan alone. It's such a hypocrisy when you consider all the trashy events that the English royals have been involved in, such as King Charles's actions against Diana, consort Queen Camilla's extramarital affair with Charles while he was married to Diana, Prince Andrew's involvement with Epstein. I guess gossip sells, but I'd be ashamed to make a living out of idle gossip. Need to leave this site. You commentators are sick. Have a good life.
Who's that from?
That's from Maria
Rodriguez.
Yes,
Maria Rodriguez. Well, in terms of you saying you'd be ashamed to make a career of idle gossip, I'm just thinking about my career. That would be it. That's it.
It's a good living, though. Don't knock it.
Yeah, it's a very good living. It's better than working, Maria.
Yeah.
Go on, Samara.
Gabriella says, this is the only show I can watch the entire way through. Oh, that's so sweet. Thank you, Gabrielle.
Thank you, Gabrielle. We'll keep on watching.
Yeah,
keep on watching. We hope we'll keep on delivering for you. We do our best. Ash?
From Rachel Ginter. I'm from Kentucky, which is a southern state where you'll see grits on our menus, and I don't like them either.
That's another thing. I'm not sure I ever came across an American who actually liked grits.
No.
I'll tell you what, right, next week, right, that's what we're going to do. We're going to get some grits in. We'll try them, yeah?
Can you get them here?
He's going to ban them. He's going to ban them. RFK Jr., Secretary of Health.
He's going to ban them?
Why are they bad for you?
I didn't know that.
Yeah,
Why?
that's the whole thing, because they're bad for you.
Are they
it's
bad
not
for you?
healthy.
Well, lots of things are bad for you.
You're not going to be... No, this is... Yeah.
He's going to ban grits and heroin.
Yeah.
Because they're both bad for you.
Being a Kennedy's bad for you.
Can you shoot
That's
grits
worse
up?
for you. Yeah, you've probably got a bigger chance at
Can you
death.
shoot grits up?
Yeah, you could probably crush it up. But anyway.
Well, it kind of is crushed already. Right, we're trying grits next week. Go on, Samara.
Kareen says, love your show. Glad Simon is no longer on your show. Thank you. Poor Simon.
Well, we've been through... This is like the revolving chair. So we've been through...
Last man
there you go.
Who will it be next week?
And Ash is the latest...
Incarnation.
Inhabitor
I'll
of
do
that
magic
chair.
trick next
but
week.
I think, should we get him to do a magic trick? I think this is our permanent replacement. Have we got time for one more?
P. Nickel.
it's the last message from Ash. I do.
All right, well, this
in
is
the revolving chair, it's Ash.
Yeah, and following on from the grits, Kevin, grits are... This is Lady Grey. Kevin, grits are delicious southern dish. You can jazz them up. Well, they sound like that's what's happened. With pimento cheese, lots of butter and cream. You can add jelly or jam if you prefer sweet, or scam jam.
Oh, my God.
If you want to be happy.
Do you miss America, Kev?
Well, I tell we're definitely trying grits next week. We'll get them. You're not here, are you?
Actually, get Kinsey to bring them. She'll
Kinsey
be here.
Schofield's here next week, folks.
Where are you next
All
week?
the way from America. And so we'll have an American...
that'll be good.
And we'll try some grits. Time for a bad ad.
体洗いブッシュビオレユーすっげえもっちりやわ洗う笑う洗わらう洗わらう
On that Japanese soap ad bombshell, that's it for this week. Big thanks to Flash Ash Gould. Massive thanks to Samara Gill, as always. Thanks to me as well. Yeah. Thank you all for watching. And we will be back next week. You better be there.